Hello everyone and welcome to the Hobby Guard, where we can safely, aggressively and passionately nerd out about our hobbies. Today this is part 3 of a deep lore playthrough of Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls Remastered. So just a quick recap. What we're doing here is I will be trying to go as deep into the lore as I can, reading every item description, and since this game will be probably over way too fast if I didn't make it a bit hard for me, because I do have some experience with this type of game, even though I have not finished again Dark Souls 1, shamefully enough. I will be trying to play a specific style throughout the game. I will try to play a parry slash strength slash faith build, which is not something I've ever done. I've never played a parry build in any of these games. I guess Bloodborne doesn't count because in that game you kind of have to parry. But anyways, just picking up where we left off in the last chapter. I have to admit something real quick. I did make a new character just to change the name. In the last episode I was like, oh, which name am I gonna choose? I don't know, I can't think of any names. And then I was like, duh, how about you put your channel name on it, you moron. Alright, anyways. So we are at the Undead Asylum. Again, just picking up where we left off last time. And we just beat the Asylum Demon, the tutorial boss, if you will. We have, sorry about that, voice crack. We have most of the essential items that we need. We've read all of those descriptions, and I don't remember, to be entirely honest, if I chose the same starting item gift in the last episode with my other character. So let's just read this again just in case. It reads, Tiny Being's Ring. Ring made of an ancient tiny red jewel. Grants small increase to HP. Rings grant power large and small. Their discovery and effective use can make one's journey easier. So, I believe I did choose the same one the last time, just because I'm gonna need a bunch of health because I don't have a lot of armor. Regardless, we did find a new key, and I believe I know what that key opens. So, I'll just try to retrace my steps here. Yeah, it's this way, I believe. Follow me, brethren. For we must... Ah! I forgot the guy had respawned. To the darkness with you. To the abyss. You know what? I should probably be farming for souls, because the build that I am making, it's gonna be hard enough. Whoa. Where were you, man? You probably got stuck somewhere up there. Alright. Running towards the camera. And again, I'm horrible at parrying, so please judge me harshly and make me regret my decisions. Feel free to shame me for my lackluster parrying skills. No, it's alright, I'll get it eventually. Just a quick Estus, nothing happened. Yo, get parried! You filthy casual! Alright. Excellent. I already mastered this game. I don't need, there's nothing else that I have to learn. This game is actually so easy. I don't know what the big fuss is about. I literally just parried like on my 5th attempt. I don't know how hard can that be for the rest of the game. Whoa. I do remember the positioning on this. Oh, whoa. Okay, so I think... Oh, I got a parry just right there, just as they're about to hit me with something. So we can already see from here, I believe, the next area that we have to access. And anyways, let's get there. We'll get there when we get there. First, let's get rid of this pesky sniper. this filthy camper out in the corner here. And now this guy did kill me once before, so I gotta be careful. Get parried? No. Nope. Get parried, you scrub. You ain't got nothing on me, bro. Nothing. Sorry. I hope I didn't pop my mic in there too bad. Oh. See, I only should have read this and it would have been easier. I had totally forgotten that miracles and spells in this game only have like a certain amount of uses, as opposed to the newer games when you have like your own resource that you can. I thought that was the key for that. All right, no biggie. So apparently everything I just did was totally useless. There was no need for me to go this way. I wonder if that fall is gonna kill me. Also, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm terrified of jumping that. What if I die? Well, let's just send it. It's a game where you're supposed to die. Whee! I did not die. I'm built like that. Yeah, duh. This is the door that the key opened. Everything I just played was entirely useless. We did have some laughs along the way, I guess. You know, these views never get old in these games. Alright, let's do some quick exploring here. Just take it all in. Remember, we are trying to piece together the lore of this game, which is, as I mentioned previously, it's such an undertaking. Yeah, go straight ahead. That's pretty straightforward. It's such an undertaking that there are people who literally do this professionally. By the way, something I've had in my head for a while that I need to implement is I need an stick. So every time I say or I gotta hit myself with the stick. Because just listening to my videos, my playbacks, it's hard on the ears to hear so many and ers and ams. And if you want to do something good for yourself, just in your day-to-day life, just try to take those noises out of your everyday vocabulary, and also words like. I say like too much, but not nearly as much as other people that I've heard. Everyone keeps saying like and like and like, and it's like it literally doesn't mean anything. Like the word literally. Alright. There's a nest here, which reminds me of the crows from the second and third game. But usually they would be talking here. They will be making their silly crow noises. Do you say crow or crow? I think it's crow. Otherwise it will be like Russell Crowe, the actor. Sorry about that. Hopefully that was away enough from the mic. Apparently I got some dust in my mic. That's what happens when you don't do this often enough. And in case you didn't watch the last episodes, just a quick recap on some of the things I mentioned are... Oh yeah, item? Soul of a Lost Undead. Let's take a knee here and explore the lore. Where would that be? Here. Soul of a Lost Undead, who has long ago gone hollow, used to acquire souls. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. Now that is interesting for a variety of reasons. First of all, it starts to... Oh, I said again. I need an stick. Well, maybe next time. I'll use an marker. Ow. Ow. Bad content creator. Alright. This begins to display for us the idea here that, well, quite a bit of very important ideas for the lore of the game. So, for example, souls are the source of all life, which means there is no life without souls, which means whatever we saw in the intro, those dragons, we don't know if they had souls. I guess I do know, because later down in different games there is oh, there it is again. Later, I don't know if in this game, but in other games you can collect the souls of dragons. So I guess we do know that dragons have souls. However, There it is again. In the intro, it's kind of implied that before the fire there was almost nothing, almost like a big bang. At the same time, they say there were dragons, there were the arch trees, and then there was fire. But the concept that it is exploring is like everything existed in the all, in the all together. The what's it called in different spiritual practices and myths? Would that be the monad? I know for some people it's called, well, when it refers to the spirit of the universe, I believe in some spiritual traditions it's called the Atman, which is the universal man, the universe man, or being rather, that the whole world is made out of. Out of. Now, feel free to correct me because I am not a theologist or a scholar in none of these topics. I'm just a very autistically curious nerd about some of these things, and I enjoy them for my personal growth and development. But regardless, then the flame creates disparity. So the flame is like it's the event before and after of this game. Before the flame, everything was together. It's almost as if everything was part of a whole. After the flame, there is finally disparity, and that makes me think that that's when the division between life and death started in the first place, which is something very interesting. And I'm pretty sure it's supported by the lore, because the dragons were supposed to be, remember, immortal, and everything that existed before was supposed to be immortal. Now there's also the pygmies and the so-called gods. We don't know yet if those are two separate races of beings, but we can infer that they are from the intro cinematic, as I discussed in the last episode. That intro cinematic is probably not entirely true. It's probably part of these. Look at all those ass. I'm trying so hard right now. It's probably part of this tale. This machine that is the universe, that is this reality, works around, is run on the efforts of humanity, just sacrificing themselves over and over. In this game, I believe it has not happened yet, in the sense that no one has rekindled the first flame yet, but later on we will find out very interesting things, very dark stuff that Lord Gwyn was doing with the humans. Anyways, souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. Now, we know we are undead. How do we know this? It's been mentioned previously. We are in the undead asylum, and also by Lord Gwyn, man. Look at our faces. Does that dude look like he's doing okay? Does he look alright? Or could he use, I don't know, maybe some creatine, some protein? He does not look okay. Alright, let's just say it that way. So we're pretty sure he's undead at this point. Whatever that means. We're gonna explore, and I'm not even kidding, like, some of this lore is so rusty in my head. Even though I was a huge freak about it back in the day. Back when I started playing Dark Souls 2, which was my first Dark Souls. Laugh all you want, I still love that game. But yeah, it's been many years. So anyways, let's keep marching onwards. And we also last episode spoke about the difference between just being a regular undead and a hollow, going hollow, which is also a very interesting concept. It's one of those things that when people say that Dark Souls saved their lives. Okay, I really want to try to do this. It's something I've never even done, and it has to be tried at some point. If I die, I die. Yeah, I'm alive. Okay, next question is, should I keep going down? No, I see nothing for me to land there, so there was absolutely no need to go there. Anyways, going hollow is one of the most interesting concepts for me in this game. You know, when people talk about, like, I said, like, you know, when people talk about, oh, Dark Souls saved my life, or I was in a huge depression and Dark Souls helped me get over it. First of all, there's some science behind why that happens, but also... Oh, hold on, cutscene.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Am I chosen?
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords.
To the land of the
Lordran.
ancient lords. Look at that. So beautiful. Look at that wall. It's the most beautiful wall anyone has ever built. Oh. Five stars for that Uber. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. Right. Before we explore the Firelink Shrine, let me talk about a couple of things. First of all, we can see how we are being led in a very hopeful manner, even though the world around us is bleak, even though everything around us says despair and hopelessness and everything looks abandoned and uncared for. The world is full of zombies, of undead, and we ourselves are undead, if not hollow. But there is a hope. They give us a string to follow to get out of this maze, which is very vague, of course, but there is a prophecy that speaks of an undead who will escape the asylum where we just were and travel to the land of the ancient lords. Now this land looks ancient for sure, but you can tell we're outside of the fun place. You can tell we are below them. And right away the first thing you want to do is just go up there, go to that beautiful place that we just saw and explore. What was that, right? The other thing I have been trying to address for 10 minutes now is the concept of hollowing and why it is so impactful, so deep, and so beautiful in many ways. So hollowing, I believe when people say that Dark Souls helped them get through depression, which is a very common thing to hear or read online, I think what they mean in many ways, or one of the many things, there's a lot of it, there's a lot to it, there's a lot of science behind it, but I think that one of those things that really speak to your soul are things like the concept of going hollow and being cursed and the battle to not give up, right? Because if you're undead, you don't want to go hollow. Hollowing basically means just losing so much of yourself. Every time that you die, every time that you fail, you go a bit more hollow, you lose more of yourself. But that relates closely to life as well. And if you're old enough, you have gone through this, whether you realize it or not, whether you feel like every single loss or misstep in life takes a bit more away from you. And it has a lot more meanings and deeper meanings, but I think that's one of the big ones and like more intuitive ones that just speak to our soul without even having to think too much about it. It's very interesting. Alright. Let's keep exploring the lore of Firelink Shrine. First of all, let me recover a bit. And let's see if I can level up real quick. Okay, so about the build that I was trying to craft in my head, at least, to make. Whoa, I can level up 3 levels, that's nice. We're gonna ignore dexterity until we absolutely need it, if we are all, because, come on, dex bro, really? Vitality will be important because that will affect our HP. Attunement eventually, once I have access to more miracles, will be very important because that is gonna affect how many miracles I can equip on me, I believe. Let me see here. Yeah, attunement slots. So those will skip a few levels. But right now, endurance is gonna be a big one. That's my stamina. That's everything from how often I can attack, run, roll, block, parry, etc, etc. Strength is another big one, and it is one that I will focus right away. Now for faith, resistance, I have no clue what resistance does. It literally is just raising my poison resistance here. Okay, what raises my equipment load in this game? Endurance. Okay, that's good. So let's focus on endurance now, because I will definitely need heavy armor at some point. Let's bring that up. Even though I have no heavy armor right now, I do want to wear heavy armor at some point. Or should I perhaps do strength to begin with? If you have ever played these games or any RPG, you know the struggle. The struggle is real. Okay, you cannot go wrong with strength. I will do... No, let's go endurance. What the hell? I'm gonna need it for everything anyways. And I want the thickest armor I can find as fast as I can find it. Even if I don't do that much damage, it'll still be fun. It's a good challenge, I believe. So equipment load is quite a bit higher. Let's hope that works for now. What else can we do here? Okay. We have access to covenants right away, and our first covenant is the Way of White, which is interesting. The Way of White is, I believe, the religion of the kindling of the flame, the religion built around the myth of keeping the flame alive. I could be wrong. I can reverse hollowing once I find a humanity, which hopefully I will find eventually. Right, we've done everything we can do there. Can I just say, let's just take a moment to enjoy the music of Firelink Shrine and the vibe of Firelink Shrine. Sure, maybe I have not finished this game, but I've spent enough hours in Firelink Shrine for it to become a crucial part of my life. One of my very many happy places, but one of the most cherished ones. I will say Majula is more my happy place, perhaps. It's just a lot more cozy, and I think the music hits different, but it could also be because I visited Majula before I ever visited Firelink Shrine for the first time. Regardless. Let's have a chat with the good fella over here.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're not the first.
Duh.
But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out.
Oh.
There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Okay, so I I don't know if you noticed, but I still, after so many years of not playing this game, I still shudder at the mention of Blighttown. It'll be very fun when we finally get there.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow.
Yo,
But who knows?
not cool, man.
Being hollow could solve quite a bit.
Don't hollow shame me. I love this character, and I love this fella here. I don't know his name, I just know he's the Crestfallen Knight in other games.
What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collected bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
There's just so much here so far. Let me see if he has anything else to say.
What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
Whoa. Not so friendly anymore. Alright. My homie here. He has completely, not completely obviously because he's not entirely hollow yet, but he has given up. So much so that he considers going hollow almost clemency upon our poor souls because of how unbearable this reality is. How unbearable even the thought of what we have to do. How impossible the task ahead of us. And yet, he's still here. Why does he remain here? Why hasn't he gone hollow? He's probably too afraid to take that final step in either direction. So he's a reflection of the people who criticize Dark Souls 2. No, I was kidding. He's a reflection of people who mildly give up. People who are not... they don't have enough fire in them to push forward, but they don't have... I regret to call it... I hesitate to call it courage, but they don't have... They're neither too hot or too cold, let's say. They're not decided enough to fully quit either. So that is certainly an interesting thing. Now, the other thing we can infer from what he says is we're probably not the first... Well, he literally says we're not the first, but we're probably not the first ones he sees who have come on this pilgrimage from the Undead Asylum. And one of the first things he says to us is like, yeah, you shouldn't have come here. You should have stayed there and probably rode away there. It's better than whatever is expecting you here. But joke's on you, man, because the Undead Asylum was boring as hell in that tiny little cell, and here we have a lot to do and explore and enjoy. I just want to comment real quick. His chainmail, hella sick. And I also, just quickly before we leave, body guy here, that thing he says about us trying to regain our humanity, I forget what it's called in this game, let's see. Yeah, basically reverse hollowing by using humanities. He says it in a very interesting way where he tells us the ways we can go about regaining our humanity, and one of them is to kill another undead and take humanity from them. And then he goes, covering thy neighbor is very human after all. And that is gonna be one of the biggest themes in this game, which is the want of things, the desire, the unleashed, unguarded, the dangers of unguarded greed. Unguarded? Unrestrained is the word I was looking for. Let's check out this item here. Oh, perfect. I could use that. Eventually, I'll save it for when I really, really need it. After all, I do look kind of metal with my hollow eyes. I don't mean like they're the eyes of a hollow, I mean like they look hollow. What's down here? Is that an item I see? All the way up there. Guarded by some fellas too. Oi! What are you doing there? Oh, it's one of those. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, wait, there is a prompt. Why did I select talk when it literally just told me she cannot speak? Firekeeper's soul required to reinforce Estus flask. So we'll find out what that means at some later point. Check out that fall. Yeah, let's not go there. What's immediately down here? I just want to stop at every corner and look around. Doing some camera tricks. Is it me or does that look like a... No, never mind. Like an illusory wall. Oh. I was not expecting that to actually activate so quickly. I thought it was gonna say something like, oh no, you can't go there yet, you silly undead guy. Because I do have the feeling that we're not supposed to be here. Oh no. I'm the most cowardly cleric to ever live. Where's my faith? Damn it. Yeah, I don't think this is the right way, guys. Well, free souls. New Londo ruins. Now the lore of New Londo, from what I remember, is a tragic and scary one, but it is also very unclear what exactly happened here. It's clearly flooded, as we can see. I feel bad about taking out this body guy just chilling there, but I gotta do what I gotta do to get them juicy souls. I don't plan to do a lot of farming to make the game easier. I plan to do farming when I have to make my build possible. Because again, I will be trying to parry, but as you can see already, I'm terribly bad at parrying. At least for now. Maybe by the end of this playthrough I'll be good, and then I'll go back to Dark Souls 2 and try parrying in that game. Maybe I'll even parry in Elden Ring. I'm not brave enough yet, but who knows. Now these guys are kneeling here praying at something, but why is he praying in front of a jar? What's special about this jar, buddy guy? It's just a jar, dude. I feel bad. I know these aren't real people, but I just feel bad. That felt evil. I'm supposed to be a cleric, even though clerics in this game are not the nicest people. You can tell I'm trying to... You can tell I'm trying to do a... like a backstab, but I just... Oh! There you go. Effortless parry. Estoc. Alright, we got a new weapon. Let's read the lore of the Estoc. Unable to wield this weapon effectively with present stats. Boo! Oh, it's probably a dex weapon. Weapon type, thrusting sword. Attack type, regular thrust. The largest of the thrusting swords, can pierce an armored knight in one thrust. The blade is also sharp, allowing slicing as well. Nice. Well, I have no need for it at the moment anyways. And I urgently need a helmet, but I also urgently need to go to the washroom, so... The ruins of New Londo here. if anything else, it is at least very interesting. Why, almost underneath that big, beautiful city that we saw, the one that's covered in walls, I believe that's an Orlando. There is this old settlement in ruins, completely flooded, almost completely flooded, and abandoned by the light, except for that small hole of light up there. But yeah, let's put these poor guys out of their misery. And let's try to do a backstab again. Nope, doesn't work. Oh, poor guy. Oh, we got an item. Transient course. What is that? Temporary course allows engagement with ghosts. What does that mean? Transient course. Limb of the victim of a curse. Temporary course hollows engagement. Whoa, sorry. Temporary course allows engagement with ghosts. The only way to fight back against ghosts who are cursed beings is to become cursed oneself. The safest method, however, dreadful, is to cut off an arm of the dead. Oy. So that's good to know. I feel like that is a very useful item. I don't remember very well, but I feel like I shouldn't be here. I don't remember these being such an early part of the game. Okay, we crossed the first bridge and nothing happened. That's good. I do know that in none of these games you can swim, so the water is poison. The water is lava. Funny enough, you can walk through lava in some of these games. Whoa, what are you? Whoa! Okay. That was a lot of life that I just lost. Let's reassess. Wait, I'm pretty sure I was blocking. Where are you going, bro? Oh, that's unfair. They can fly over the water. That's so unfair. Okay, let's try to take one of these body guys out. Yeah. Oh. 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 Okay, she just tried to hug me. I think it's a she-ghost. I'm not assuming it's ghost gender, but it looks like a she-ghost to me, so... I am half blind, though. Do keep that in mind. So... all that talk about ghosts from this item here... maybe that will allow us to get cursed and interact with them? I don't know, let's give it a shot. I did feel like it was gonna be an important item. Now let's rush back there before the effect passes. Let's try to take these body guys out. Oh, I did like no damage. At all. Okay, never mind. Retreat! Run, brothers! Oh, wrong game. That's my Space Marine voice. Run for the Emperor, brothers! Okay. Yeah, let's not go there yet. I'm pretty sure I'll figure out what to do with this place later. But right now, I am a bank of souls. I got my piggy bank of souls and I want to keep them safe. Oh. Yeah, I really can't backstab those guys. I want to keep my souls safe until I can use them. Thank you very much. Whoa! The guy just flew over the air. Whoa! Whoa! What are the physics in this game? I love it. Whoa, you too? You too, Brute? That is so cool, poor guys. Anyways, I should not be bothering their bodies. Did I come this way? I'm lost already. I think I came through here, judging by the trail of bodies. Alright. Did I explore all of that yet? Yeah, there's a bunch of dead bodies over there. Okay, so it's here that I haven't been. No, it's gotta be here. Alright. I wish I had those glowing stones from Elden Ring. Oh. Of course, it's locked. There's probably something sick past that, but also probably something very dangerous. You know what? I'll take the hint and I'll just go back up to Firelink Shrine. Or we can explore. Oh!
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
Are you Rickard from Berserk? The once smith? I do believe Vinheim in the lore of this game is a land of sorcery and full of magicians or sorcerers, I guess.
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
Oh. Yeah, he sells sorceries. But even though we have no interest in buying them, we can still read the lore. Heavy Soul Arrow. Soul sorcery emphasizing power. Fire Heavy Soul Arrow. No shit. A more powerful but also slower sorcery, difficult to use due to a long cooldown and a limitation on the number of castings. So, not much lore there unfortunately. How about Soul Arrow? Elementary sorcery, Fire Soul Arrow. Soul arrows inflict magic damage, making them effective against iron armor, tough scales, and other physically resilient materials. Good to know. Oh, there was something else here we didn't read. The Sorcerer's Catalyst. Sorcery Catalyst used by sorcerers of Vinheim Dragon School. Equip Catalyst to use sorceries. Attune sorceries from a scroll at a bonfire. Most sorceries have a limited number of uses. Good to know. So Vinheim sorcerers also use shields and weapons. That's... No, shields? Why? Why did I think of shields? Maybe I'm thinking of the dragon shield. They also use Catalyst, to cast their spells. Just like I use my talisman or whatever it is in this game to cast my miracles. And I need Titanite shards to reinforce my weapons. Which makes sense. No weapons for ascension. What is ascension of weapons? Okay.
Come back soon.
I believe...
Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness.
It's kind of sad that this fella here is more content staying locked up, locked down here, locked up down here, than just going outside and going hollow out there. That's how hopeless this world pretends to be, or seems to be. And I went the wrong way again, but I'm glad I kept exploring, if only to find Rickard. Is there anything else I'm missing? There's always gonna be something I'm gonna miss, don't worry. Yeah, no. Alright, that was it then. I don't remember if this game had torches. I hope it did, because it's so dark. Oh, not again. Come on, how hard can it be? It's not the left one, it's the right one. There you go. Just follow the trail of poor dead people that you left behind. Oh, I almost ran past that item. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. see if that one's different from the one before. It is. Soul of a nameless undead soldier who has long ago gone hollow, used to acquire souls. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. Pretty useful information. Of course, half of that we had already read from the previous soul that we found. Still very depressing how many have gone hollow. And does that mean they literally pass away if they leave their souls there? Because I thought you literally couldn't die, but there's clearly like corpses that are gone. Alright, I'm back at the happy place. Oh, did I miss a cell down there or something? Okay, I don't think I did. Maybe I was too distracted by the beautiful background that I missed something, but I don't believe I did. I was gonna say something else that you have to keep doing. I wouldn't say unfortunately, but in these games is every time you talk to someone, you gotta talk to someone else.
Have you seen that terribly morose lass?
See?
The firekeeper.
That's what I'm talking about.
She's stuck keeping that bonfire lit. Sad, really. She's mute and bound to this forsaken place. They probably cut her tongue out back in her village, so that she'd never say any god's name in vain. How do these martyrs keep chugging along? I'd peter out in an instant.
Is that jealousy in your voice from having the stones to
What?
keep chugging
You
along?
want to hear more?
Sure.
Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead berg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead berg, within the plague-infested blight town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
So he did try to ring the bells at some point.
Bloody hell, what is it now?
Oh, you really don't
You
like me.
ask too many questions.
Hey.
I'm not up for chatting. Leave me.
Alright, I'll respect your privacy, sir. So one thing, very important thing that we learned here is that this bonfire, even though we don't know exactly what it is yet, we know how we interact with it rather. We can respawn at it. If we die elsewhere, we literally come back to, I was gonna say life, but we're undead, but you know what I mean. From these ones, so they're obviously very important, they're obviously very relevant, we just don't know exactly what they are yet. They do have a coiled sword that's dug deep in the earth, and it's literally more like a bonfire. There's literally burning bones that are feeding the fire, and that bonfire is kept aflame, alight, by the firekeeper here, who cannot talk, but she is somehow also related to the bonfire and to keeping it lit. So there's a crow that brought us here, who some people say might be, if not Velka herself, an envoy of Velka. Now, who is Velka? We will get there when we get there, because that's a huge can of worms. That's a very deep rabbit hole that I am not prepared to go into right now in any way. That's back here. Item. Yeah, firebomb. Let's read that one. Let's equip and read that one. How about that? Bisque urn filled with black powder. Explodes, inflicting fire damage. Relatively powerful ranged weapon, especially in situations calling for fire damage. A very precious item at low levels. Many warriors use these to augment their strategic repertoire. That's exactly what I was thinking. Okay. Let's keep searching. I totally forgot how many souls I needed to level up. But I should try leveling up at some point.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted.
We are
I
not.
am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Is this distance enough to you? Hey, I'm from Trollon too. We should have some sort of Oh, I said we should have some sort of rapport already, but it's not
Hello
working.
there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Nice.
Oh my. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles?
Yes,
Would
please.
that please you?
Yeah.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Which gods? Okay.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Sure, and you're selling them to me?
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm. An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
Oh! So my faith is just my money? No comment. Sure, let's show our dedication for the lore.
Very well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers.
We've already learned more about the bonfires. But I feel like that didn't actually tell us much. Let's learn a gesture from Body Guy. Shrug. Such an ideal gesture. Yeah, gesture. Okay. Oh, now I can't afford miracles. Thank you. Oh, I was never gonna be able to afford them. Alright. And yet, the most valuable thing here are not the talismans or the miracles. It's the lore. So let's read some more lore. Let me see how long is this video already. It's getting up there in time, so let's read this lore and end this episode here for today. How about that? And then we'll keep exploring Firelink Shrine. Great Heal Excerpt. Great Miracle cast by advanced clerics restores high HP. Great Heal Excerpt borrows from only several verses of Great Heal. As a result, it can only be cast a stark few times. So yeah, it only has one use, at least at this level. And I need 14 faith, which I believe I do have. Then we have Homeward. Great Miracle cast by advanced clerics. Return to last bonfire rested at. Would normally link one to one's homeland. Only the curse of undead has distorted its power, redirecting casters to a bonfire. Or perhaps for undead, this serves as a home. Interesting. So the undead are bonded in some way to the bonfires. Force, common miracle amongst cleric knights, create shockwave. This quickly acting miracle inflicts no damage but propels foes back and defense against arrows. Cleric knights use this miracle when charging into enemy mobs. That's cool. So we already know that there are cleric knights and they charge into enemy mobs, so they're fearless apparently. That's pretty metal of them. Seek guidance. Miracle of clerics on an undead mission. Display more guidance from other worlds. So that means more online messages. And also I said Oh! Guidance facilitates communication between undead, but their value varies greatly. A balance of faith and wisdom is required. Interesting. And there's some talismans here. This is the talisman I already have, but this one I don't. Torlund Talisman. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. This talisman is only granted to high-ranking Torlund clerics. Has high miracle adjustment, which thanks to divine protection is not depend upon faith. How does that mean? What does that mean? So you don't need faith because it's already like highly protected? Thanks to divine protection. Rather it means it's so expensive that you don't need too much faith to use it. But anyways, let's not get into that.
The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Alright, so I will come again, see if maybe his companions have showed up. And just a quick reminder, I thought I wanted to mention this earlier, but I didn't end up doing so. Eventually I will like this to be live streams, not just playthrough videos like this, and I said but I am still adjusting to live streaming. I haven't live streamed. I am currently using OBS to film all of this. Is that a... Oh, I'm alive. See, that's a problem with having no torches. What is that? Anyways, I still have to learn to live stream using OBS, and I just don't have the time to go through all the settings right now. And also, as you can probably tell, I'm still very new at this, so I wouldn't mind having some more experience before trying to actually live stream. Alright, let's just explore some more real quick. And then I'll be ending this episode in a few minutes. What's here? Homeward Bone. More lore. Let's read them as we grab them, because I'll probably forget. I'm very tired from work. Homeward Bone. Bone fragment reduced to white ash. Return to last fire, used for resting. Bonfires are fueled by bones of the undead. In rare cases, the strong urge their previous owners to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. Let me read that again. Bonfires are fueled by bones of the undead. We saw that when we were looking at it. In rare cases, the strong urge of their previous owners to seek bonfires enchants their bones with a homeward instinct. Got it. Okay. So these bones were actually from a bonfire at some point, and that is why we can return to a bonfire, because something in the owner's lasting urge it was to return home, which is the bonfire for undead. They had such a strong urge that it literally, some of that yet remains in their bones, and that is hard. That's tough and tragic. Let's see what else we have here. I got a morning star! So early! Dude, that's exactly the weapon I wanted to use. Oh, it's the best weapon in the game. Just kidding. I don't know if it sucks. I just love morning stars. Usually I'll play these games with swords, but lately I've been like playing every game that I can with a morning star, just because I all of a sudden developed all of a sudden I develop an appreciation, an empathy for the Morning Star a few years ago. So, okay, so it does less damage than the one I do have equipped, but it causes bleeding, as you can tell by that auxiliary effect on the bottom left corner there. It uses less of my strength. Regardless, I want to equip it. Look at my Morning Star, dude. It's so beautiful. Bonk. Bonk. It's so slow. It's perfect. Parry. Bonk. Parry. Mega bonk. Alright. I was so excited about getting a Morning Star that I forgot to read the lore of the... Let's all learn together the lore of the Morning Star and wonder at its wild tales. Morning Star. Weapon type hammer. Attack type thrust. Hammer with a sharp spike on its pommel. One of the more barbaric cleric weapons. Uniquely, this hammer inflicts thrust damage and causes bleeding. That'll be useful because thrust damage is its own entire type of damage. And bleeding, it's great because it's a status effect that accumulates over time. The more you apply it over and over with hits, and it raises the bleeding effect. And I'm not sure how it works in this game. I know in other games what it does is once you reach a certain threshold, in games like Elden Ring and other Dark Souls games, the opponent loses a big chunk of health. So that will come in handy. Now the fact that it is a cleric weapon, a barbaric cleric weapon, one of the more barbaric cleric weapons, so there's more, and that it causes bleeding, makes me think that perhaps clerics in this universe are more interested of the psychological torture of... Not the psychological torture, sorry, the psychological effect of torturing their victims, so to speak, or their opponents, by bleeding them to death while whacking them in the noggin with a hammer, a pointy hammer, an angry hammer, spicy hammer. Cracked red-eye orb. Let's read the lore of the cracked red-eye orb. Oh, I think I already read this last time. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire humanity. Sorry, I skipped a part here. Online play item. Invade another world. Hollows cannot use this item. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire humanity. The cracked red-eye orb allows players to temporarily imitate this ability, normally limited to dark raids of Cave. Who are the dark raids of Cave? Okay, next time I for sure have to play online so that I can do some invasions. I never like doing invasions in games just because I feel bad. I don't want to mess with people's games. But this time I gotta do it for the lols, for the people. Alright, I grabbed everything and I can't get out of here. Lucky for me, I have 6 homeward bones, so easier. Can you imagine there was a secret wall there and I just totally missed it? Oh, now I have to go back. But I'm starving. I have to eat. But I have to go back. Wait, what is this water? Doesn't look deep. Yay. Hey, who opened that chest? Yeah, I'm clearly not the first person to come here. What a beautiful statue. A woman holding a child. Clearly based off of Christian statues. In Christian European statues, mainly, I want to say. But this one has a... She's sitting on the trunk of a tree, it seems. Now, everything in this game is significant. I'm just not sure yet how this is significant to us. But the symbol of a mother with her baby obviously evokes a lot of different things in different people. And it's obviously meant to evoke something in us here. To me, honestly, it just makes me feel longing for wherever my character is meant to come from. I don't have any kids, so my reaction to this is it makes me think of my character when they were a baby. And it's probably something that my character can't even remember anymore where they came from, right? It's certainly something that happens in this game. But we don't know how long we've been undead for. We don't know how far in the past all of that is. I missed these steps earlier. What's back here? Oh, item. Soul of a Lost Undead. We've already read that lore. Oh, how convenient. There's a chunk of broken wall here. But I did see... I said I was gonna stop this video and I promise I want to, but I did see an item in the distance. Just casually laid ahead of those bones. Oh, there you go. Of course. Of course he reanimate. Don't worry. Aye! I tried to parry. Aye! Okay, I totally just wasted that Estus. Hey! Okay, I said I was gonna try to parry in this game. I promise I'm trying. Aye! They're not making it easy on me. Okay, tactical retreat. How am I upstairs now? How did I get... Ah! How did I get here? Oh, come on, no. Ah, I'm safe. I don't think they can swim. Oh no, they can swim. Okay, parry. Nope. Parry. Hey. It's so hard to parry when there's two of them running at me at the same time. I mean, not that I could parry them if it was only one, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure of that myself. Ha! They're stopped at the threshold. Okay, it's a perfect spot to learn to parry. Hey! Too soon. Too late. Okay, what if... Oh, no, they crossed the threshold. Hey, that's illegal. Go back. Okay, what if I block the first? No. Hey! Too soon. Hey! Okay, I gotta take out at least one of them. As hard as it seems. I'll try to take out one of them and leave the other one for parrying. How about that? Hey! Die! Yeah, I get it. I wasn't meant to go there yet, okay? I get it. Go away. Yeah? Get backstab, you scrub. I feel like I'm getting the hang of their timing. Nope, I'm not. Nope. I parried the skeleton. That's a big skeleton too. Get parried, you scroll. Alright. Oh, where's your other guy? Now you run. Oh, I see how it is. Now that you see that I've mastered the art of parrying. Ah! Okay. Yeah, I'll parry you just like I parried your body, okay? Hey! Yeah, I'll parry you next time. Oi! Oh, I parried him by accident! I'm so bad at these. Okay, let's go home and end it there on the bonfire. That was certainly thrilling. I'll try to grab some of those items next time we go there, but that'll be on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for bearing with me and for the patience and the faith. As I said, I'm learning to do this. and yet somehow my videos have been getting views, and I really appreciate that. It baffles me, but it's, even though unexpected, it's a surprise, but I welcome that. I welcome one for sure. To be sure. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any tips, any criticism, any advice. All of that is more than welcome. And if you want to support the channel and watch more of this content and indulge in many various different hobbies, please like and subscribe this video, as that hugely helps me to be for the channel to grow. And you know all of this. If you're on YouTube, you already know all of this, so I'll just skip that part. But thanks for watching anyways. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ad Astra.